Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today, we're going to be watching a video about how AI is replacing people, in particular, this program called Devin, and how it's causing havoc to people's lives and people's jobs. Why is this important? The reason why it's so important is because we live in a time of great uncertainty where this new technology has been released into humanity, into the world, and people don't know what the consequences are currently. It is likely that most of humanity will be displaced. Most of humanity will not survive, will be made redundant. People will lose their jobs because AI will be able to work harder and longer than a human can. And especially with the ability to for machine learning and to self-correct, uh, as it grows and evolves, it will less likely make any mistakes. And it will be cheaper to hire software rather than hire a human to do the work. Because when a human does a job, there is the chance of human error. And these corporations, these big companies, all they care about is profit. So if if machines, software technology can do the job cheaper, then it will go do anything to maximize its profits. How can you personally protect yourself in the future? How can you ensure that no matter what happens, that you'll be able to earn a living, that you'll be able to make money going forward? The best way is for you to start producing content, for you to become an influencer, for you to become a content creation machine, for you to become famous online, for you to have a social media presence, a following, for you to use your fame and fortune to build a kingdom, for you to crown yourself a king, because the only way to protect yourself is for you to become the leader, the de facto leader, so that people won't fuck with you. People will look to you for guidance. They will look for you to give them leadership and permission to do whatever needs doing in the world. The world is calling out for a leader. The world is calling out for leadership. You cannot trust the current leaders that we have um, in power right now. Okay, so therefore, it must be you who rises to the occasion, who decides to do what is right and become the leader that the world needs, the leader that you always felt that you needed yourself. Because otherwise the world will go to shit. A lot of people will get hurt, especially in this upcoming the next few years when AI will truly take over. The alternative, the solution that the governments will give you is that they will allow you to plug yourself into the metaverse full time. They will allow you to, they will give you universal basic income so you can stay at home and socialize on the internet, on within the metaverse. But why do they want you to be inside the metaverse? It's because they want to surveil you 24/7. They want to see what you're doing. They want to extract as much resources out of you as possible. And in the long run, they want to be the ones in charge. They want to be the ones who are ruling the world while you sit back and fizzle out of existence. But let's get into this video.
100 years ago, my great-grandfather worked on a farm. Then he got replaced by robots. My grandfather went on to work in a car factory in Detroit. He got replaced by robots. My father went on to become a McDonald's chef, but he too was replaced by robots. I didn't want to suffer the same fate, so I got into programming. They said coding is the new literacy, and everyone needs to learn Python. But then Copilot started writing a little bit of code. GPT-4 started writing a lot of code. But then yesterday, Devin burst onto the scene, an AI that takes over our tooling to write code in an infinite feedback loop. In today's video, we'll find out if this little named Devin is the final death blow for software engineering, or if it's yet another hyped up pile of garbage designed to milk what's left of the VC money in this latest AI hype cycle. It is March 13th, 2024.
And the little history timeline that he just gave of new technology coming in and displacing people. Before, people were farmers. People lived on farms. They owned lands and they farmed it. And then they sold their lands to big corporations, to big farm bigger farmers who are able to come along and take their land, take their resources, while they got factory jobs, office jobs in return. The thing is, we also, if you follow the trends, if you follow what the World Economic Forum is doing, you can see that their big agenda that they have is climate change, and the biggest contributor to climate is humans. Now, why do they want to fight climate? They want to lessen the impact on the world. They want to keep the world intact so that they and their offsprings can enjoy the earth. What is stopping them enjoying the earth? It is the adverse effects of climate change. And who's to blame for climate change? It is humans. So, what is the solution to climate change? Well, it's to get rid of fucking humans, obviously, isn't it? And that is how these elites think. They want you. They're they're only keeping you around so you can work for them, so they can profit off your labor. But if robotics, if technology, if AI gets advanced enough where you don't have to hire a human, then you have to really ask yourself: is how would these elites look at people who are not contributing to the economy, who are not producing any resources, producing any output? Okay, you only have to look at America, which is one of the probably the most free market capital world society in the world, and how it treats its homeless people. The US has a huge homeless problem. It has a huge homeless. It has a huge drug problem, and if you look at all these big cities like LA, San Francisco, Detroit, even I think parts of Austin, Texas, and Miami as well. These homeless people just walking around and popping up and producing their own tent cities. Okay, and the government cares in a sense of keep it away from the general public, but these people that that they have been left behind by society. Nobody really cares about them, and they are seen as a lost hope. And once people become unemployed, which most of humanity will, thanks to AI, a lot of people will go through depression. A lot of people will go through challenging times. They will not be able to reinvent themselves. They will not have the capacity to learn new skills. They, you know, they will lose their self-worth in effect, and that is a dangerous place for society to be. The solution obviously will be the metaverse, so people will plug themselves in and virtually they will numb themselves, but it is really a voluntary imprisonment, because you will not be able to leave your house, you will not be able to go anywhere, travel anywhere, because the cost of it will add to your carbon footprint. It will add to the effects of climate change. So they will rather you stay inside your house, socialize, not in person, but socialize via the internet, via the metaverse, via virtual reality. And they want you to not reproduce, not find any love interest, not find any romantic interest, and fizzle out into off the planet, without a lineage, without any children to carry on your family name, to carry on your lineage, your bloodline, because the only bloodlines that matter to the elites is the elite level bloodlines, and anybody else will be fizzled out of existence. And if you think that this is some sort of conspiracy theory, if you think that this could never fucking happen, is you really haven't studied history. World War I, World War II, World War I in particular was for really the German royal court versus the British royal court, and they were cousins. Okay, they were literally related. Um, Millions of men, both sides, lost their lives on the battlefield, and obviously there's a Remembrance Day, which is great. There's there's monuments and statues everywhere, around the country, in the UK, in Germany, in Belgium, in France. But those lives were lost, and it did not affect the elites. Okay, and the elites see humans as resources. They even call it within business. manpower is seen as human capital. Okay, it is just another resource, just as is what capital is. It is just a resource for them to use, for them to profit of, and the only way you can win this game is, there's not going to be no uprising. Is you have to join them. You have to become an elite, and this is what Royal Instinct is about. We are here. I am here, sending out a bat signal to 100 royals who are watching this, who understand what is going on in the world, who want to be part of something greater, who believe in their hearts that it is their destiny to be something beyond themselves, for them to become the leaders that the world needs, for them to become a king in essence. And to be a king, you have to establish a kingdom. You have to build your kingdom. Here on Royal Instinct, I'm looking for 100 people who believe that they are of royal descent. Um, and we are forming a alliance of kings, a royal alliance, a network of kings who will all come together, build their kingdoms, expand their territory, rise to the top, and become the leaders that the world needs. Okay, we will form friendships. We will form, um, you know, great bonds with one another, and we will our come up will be together, and we would have fought great battles along the way, would have risen to the top, and we will remember. And once we succeed and become the de facto rulers of the world, we will be partying together. We will be at royal banquets, with the most beautiful women in the world. We will be living lives of luxury. And if you believe that this is what you want, this is what you were destined for, then you need to reach out, find out how we can work together. If I can help you build your kingdom, because this is what the world needs. If you want to live a life of luxury, then you need to become a king. And if you want to live the life of a slave in essence, then you need to not do anything and carry on with your life and click off this fucking channel and fuck off. That is a harsh reality. Most people will not realize what is happening. Most people are not willing to listen to what is happening. You will not be able to save everyone. The only thing is for you to save yourself, for you to establish a kingdom. And then out of the kindness of your hearts, you'll be able to help people, the people that you need your help.
And you're watching the Code Report. Software engineers right now are absolutely terrified, begging the developers of Devin to stop what they're doing. Human software engineers over at Cognition Labs have developed a machine that they're calling the first AI software engineer. It has access to all the same developer tooling that you do, like a terminal, a browser, a code editor, and so on. And that means it can solve problems like a real software engineer by Googling until you find a blog or Stack Overflow answer that you can copy and paste into your code. A product manager can give Devin some requirements, and it will respond by creating a plan of action. Then it goes to the web to get some API documentation. Then it starts writing some code. Then it runs it. It gets an error. It fixes its code and continues doing this in an infinite loop until it solves the original problem. It's similar to tools like AutoGPT, where an LLM is the base technology, but you give it the ability to perform actions and then react to the feedback that you get from those actions. Devin is already smashing other tools on the software engineering benchmark, which is a test that determines if AI can solve real-world issues on GitHub. Generally speaking, AI sucks really hard at this benchmark. GPT-4 only gets the job done 1.74% of the time, while Devin is currently sitting at 13.86%. That's a huge
Now, 13% issues resolved, and this will only get better and better. As he described in the video, Devin is able to run its own algorithms, its own code, see if the code works, and if it doesn't, it will then go back and retrace where it is going wrong and self-correct until it solves its issue. This technology will get better and better and better at this, okay, as time goes by. And it's only a matter of time for it to get so good that it will genuinely be able to replace humans. This isn't something that's like 5-10 years away. Like I literally believe it, like 2-3 years, and it will literally start causing a huge impact in how the human labor market looks. Okay. um what you have to realize is, the only way to save yourself is for you to start creating content. You have to become a subject matter expert. You have to become somebody who is seen as somebody who is very competent, who has the ability to be seen as somebody who is an authority figure. Fame is the greatest resource that a human can have, because think about it. If AI is displacing all these coders, all these engineers, all these computer programmers, you have never heard of these people. Okay, so it's a tool that's displacing faceless humans that you don't even know exist. Okay, so in your day-to-day life, it will have no impact. It will have no um really no relevance, because you don't know any of these people that are being affected. However, you do care about real life humans. Okay, if you knew who these people were, if you, for example, if your father was a software developer, if you are a software developer, if your brother was a software developer, a coder, you would then put a face to the person losing their job. Okay, and that has a greater human impact. Now, the more people who recognize your face, the more of a global impact you have. And therefore, it is important to be able to be seen, to be able to make yourself known, to establish some fame in this world, for you to become an influencer. Because really and truly, on the internet, where we are moving towards, we don't really live on Earth anymore. We exist online. And as the metaverse and virtual reality comes into play, we will move more and more towards being permanently online. And you have to be somebody who is seen as somebody who is famous, somebody who is very recognizable. When somebody thinks about, say you become a subject matter expert on horses, and if somebody wants to know anything about a horse, then they will come to you for guidance, for solutions. They will look at your content to find its answers. Okay, and you need to find out what you are passionate about in this world. Find out what difference you can make in what field, and you need to start making content around those ideas. Okay, and by making content around those ideas, slowly and slowly, you will become a subject matter expert. You will grow your own knowledge. You will share your knowledge, and people will be rooting for you on your journey. People will want you to succeed. People want you to win, and people would want you to do well. And therefore, you'll gain a following. You will rise to the top. You will get paid for your thoughts, for your ability to share information, to share content. And the richer you get, the more territory you can expand to, the more resources you can collect, the more of a kingdom you can start building. And once you establish a kingdom, once you build a kingdom, you will be seen as a king. Okay, and that is the only thing left for you to protect yourself.
Improvement, but a tool that can only solve GitHub issues 13% of the time is not quite good enough to replace most software engineers today, although this number will likely improve in the future. Things are going to get really lit though when tools like this start doing everything in parallel, like Google's AlphaCoder, which currently beats 85% of competitive programmers, and it does that by using an LLM to generate thousands of possible solutions in parallel, then picks the best one. In the future, you'll be able to post a job just like you would on Upwork, and 10 minutes later, Devin will come back with 1,000 different apps, and you can choose the best one. In fact, Devin is already doing real jobs on Upwork and getting paid for it. So I guess that makes it official. They took our jobs. They took your job! They took your job! Your job! Devin can learn new technologies, it can build and deploy apps, it can fix bugs in existing code bases, train its own AI models, train its own AI models, train its own AI models, and do all kinds of other stuff. Pretty.
And it is important that you start future proofing your life right now. You need to start producing content now, because as he was saying, that the AI will start being able to code its own AI. YouTube will get in on this technology. Content creation platforms will get in on this technology, because it will get AI to mimic top performing content creators, start producing content in line with those things that people are searching for, produce the content and feed it back within the algorithm. And then, because these social media companies own the platforms, they'll be able to suppress real human algorithms. So it won't be suggested as much, and the thing that will be shown to you will be the AI generated content. Okay, that's why it's important that you get ahead now and build your fan base, so that your fan base stays loyal with you for when these changes come. If you are interested in building your kingdom, if you are interested in establishing a kingdom, in becoming famous, in becoming rich as fuck, having the best social opportunities, the best dating opportunities that the world has to offer, then reach out to me and we can see if we can see if we can work together. My clients, I usually help them create content. I usually help them find out what they're passionate about, what they should create content around, how to communicate effectively, how to become a charismatic leader that the world needs. But that is it for today. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon.